Montevideo, Uruguay now, and I'm going to fly to Helsinki, Finland tomorrow. So tonight is going to be my last night in the Americas, and the first part of my travel, which is in the Americas, is coming to an end. And coincidentally, my travel anniversary is going to be in 10 days. So I needed to come out here and just talk about anything, review some stuff, just so that I can make this moment more memorable. I want to talk about the general feeling of this travel. I want to talk about how I'm going to remember this whole experience as in the future. It didn't feel like a travel in the conventional sense. It felt like living my life for another year. Maybe because I didn't have much idea about where I'm going to return to, and I didn't have much ideas about the final date of my travel, when it's going to end. So when I think about the initial part of my travel, US, Canada, and Mexico, for example, they seem very distant to me right now. They don't look like they form a part of this same travel. They seem very far away from now. And 1 year is not a short time. It's a long time, and I've driven about 50,000 kilometers, which is a lot, and I've been to many places, met many people. But I don't feel that I know the Americas much better now than before. I feel like I've just read the table of contents of a book rather than having read a book. For the richness of the histories and the vast physical size of the land here, I think 1 year was too short, but I'm still happy that I have at least seen the table of contents with which I'll be able to explore more further later in my time when I visit maybe with my family in the later part of my life. And I was thinking about why I started this travel in the first place, and I realized that I actually forgot about the results. So I went back to the first ever film video of myself, which was filmed a day before this journey started. And I watched myself there because I mentioned a couple of reasons with which I was starting my journey. And I mentioned that the first reason that I was traveling was because I like recollecting senses of different places. I like having those senses stored in my head and enjoy recalling those memories in the later part of my future. So I wanted to enlarge my bank of memories. The second reason was from this idea, was this assumption that I had been raised and socialized in specific environments. So by putting myself exposed to different environments and by observing how different types of lives are possible out there, I was hoping that I could broaden my perspectives on life in general. And when I thought about these two reasons, I realized that actually I haven't reflected on those subjects too much during the last year. And I guess the reason is because I was mostly preoccupied with my logistical goals each day. For example, making it to my destination and booking my place to sleep in, and also just maintaining my car, that kind of stuff. So I plan to be more conscious of these two goals later. But I realized that there was another reason that I hadn't expected, which is the satisfaction that I get by seeing things with my eyes and being in places, getting to places with my own feet. Nothing beyond that, just being able to be in this space. I realized that kind of experience gives me a lot of satisfaction. So that reason alone can be something that can justify the continuation of this travel. I'm still very curious to see new things and visit new places. But the financial and the temporal aspects of a long-term travel are serious considerations to me as well. The amount of resources and the time that I'm spending for my travel are as significant to me as they are to you. But on another note, I'm ultimately trying to be the owner of my own life. So I'm taking this experience as a way to practice to be okay with my decisions. So some mentions about the Americas. To begin with, I have to say that this region was not entirely unfamiliar to me because I had lived in the US and in Paraguay, and I learned English and I learned Spanish. So I think I'm going to recall this chapter of my travel as a easier or more comfortable one, because in the upcoming chapters I think I'm going to face more linguistic and cultural barriers or sometimes difficulties, say in the Middle East or in Central Asia or other parts of the world. But this region is big and it's hard to make generalizations in general. Although I miss the big parking lots and wide streets and big shopping malls in the US and in the Latin America, I really liked the affectionate or sweet, or in Spanish, cariñoso nature of the people. Now I have less than 24 hours left here before I leave Montevideo, but I'm not actually too sad because I know that I'm going to maintain my relationship with this region for much longer in the later part of my life.